Alright. We'll just go ahead and get started and see who all is going to join, because I really want to figure this out, and then we can start. I mean, we already have the solution. I just don't want to look at it. Alright. And I guess I was also watching and working on that last one where we were iterating through an array and indexing hash maps. And that the hash maps solve. So the hash map solve for a second loop is really kind of sinking in for me. So if you haven't been around for the last stream or two, what we're talking about is, so O of n going through something one time. And when you start to have nested loops, you're going to be going through... Ooh, I don't have my phone. Hang on a second, everybody. Be right back. Just looked down, didn't have my phone. It was closer than I thought. Alright. It was where I was reading. Trying to finish up one of the books, because it's scheduled. Trying to stay on schedule. Trying to stay on task. That's a better way to put it. Stay on task. That's your saving grace. So if you're like me, which you probably are, that's why you're here. Staying on task is vital. And if you do get behind, that's fine too. But you've got to get caught up. All right. I did not post that we are live. Let me turn on the volume. Click over to my server. And at everyone, I'm live. There we are. Finished up some homework last night. Whew. That was some humdinger homework. Actually, let me show you. Let me show you what it was. This thing was crazy. So here was this array setup. So I had to learn about how to deal with arrays. And then concatenation. I had seen this type of syntax before. And then what we had to do, so the reason why you use arrays in a database is basically to compress and not have to have more rows. And you can compress it down into one row. So I had to write, and then I ended up writing and I saw group sets. Never have seen grouping sets before. So that was insane. And then I had to find some top points and things like that. So, all right. As everybody's kind of dropping in, we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So I'm still wrapping my head around stacks. So some of you, oh yeah. Yeah, if you weren't here at the end of stream yesterday, let's see, snippet. Oh, I need to find our little stack, our stack image. Python stack data structure. What was the one that I really liked? I liked this one. Nope, wasn't that one. Yeah, here we go. This one's better. Yeah, let's bring this over here. So a stack is just a list, but the technique in which you're implementing the list changes. And then there's also taking a peek. So you look at the last item. So you create a list, then you're constantly appending, and you can actually go in and create another object off this and do the methods of pop and push, where you would then push, you call push, and all it does then is append, and then pop, and it runs pop off of it, and then peek, where it's just going to look at the last item. So let's see where we are here. And then stack. Is stack empty? Stack is empty. So if I were to put this in here, so let's go stack equals, let's say it's 2 and 3. And you just kind of want to look at the last item, because it's like you know how you hover over the back button on your browser, and then at the bottom it will display. You're not going to press it, but here's a perfect example. I've been reading about stacks a lot. So you would call the last item, and like down on the navigation bar or down on the bottom of the web page, it'll show you the address that it might open, just so you can have as much information as possible. So on that hover, if you're hovering, you would literally be doing the peek to look backwards at it. And you would pull this address and then display it down here. So those are the type of things that are just super efficient and make stacks and I'm having to reprogram my brain, because this right here is, and I can't think of another way other than the example that we saw a few days ago, the solve, because I really like that solve, because what we're doing is we're counting up, and basically we go from 0 to 1. So if an open is a 0, and then we increment that to a 1. All right, so let's see. Senior router engineer. I don't even know what that is. 14 minutes ago. Senior router engineer. What is a senior router engineer? Anybody ever heard of a senior router? Deploy IP networks within a medium large data center. Oh, that sounds awful. No, that doesn't sound like it. They want 8 to 10 years previously responsible for network engineering with Cisco platforms. That's crazy. Vinky, how are you doing? Glad to have you here today. Just kind of messing around with stacks again. Don't know how much time you have. So what was funny is I was reaching out to people. I've been trying to broaden my network. What was so funny is a lady that I ran across LinkedIn and her. Actually, I can't remember if I ran across her YouTube channel first or her LinkedIn page first. I think it was her LinkedIn, and then I got to her YouTube channel. So she's going to be taking the boot camp next in January that I'm taking now, and she's trying to grow her YouTube channel. And I was like, hey, do you want to make contents for each other's channel? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. Well, now I haven't heard anything back, so I don't know. And then I was at a cookout for a bank, not Friday, but the Friday before. And then so I got some names and numbers there. So I'm trying to meet more people. So because I know that sounds odd, but I'm very uncomfortable doing that. Very socially awkward. I don't know if that comes across here at all. I'm kind of curious, but very, 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 very socially awkward. I think I'm more comfortable in front of a camera. So even if I have an image even if I have an image of somebody there and I know that's there, I'm just still in front of a camera. So it's quite interesting. But once I start and I get to where I'm going, the drive to where I'm going and getting out of the car is very challenging. But once I get there, I get okay. But it's not fun. All right. I keep going back to the solve, which I still can't really wrap my head around. Starting here, because I don't need this. So they implement that, and then print, and then pop stack, print stack dot pop, because I want to kind of get this to sink in our answer, because then, and there's that step about the max. Trying to reprogram my brain about seeing stacks, and it's not going well. That's so cool. Think about that algorithm right there on these highlights. That's crazy. All right. So we're coming through. I kind of get why we're starting at 0, but I also kind of don't get it. So it's only a partial comprehension. So because I already have a challenge when I understand something, then go into replicate. Because I need to, so I multiply. As I multiply through, because there's the max of, when we find the max, no, don't want to do that, because that's 5, that's 1, that's 2, that's 4. But how are we doing this? All right, we're gonna revisit this one. Because I added that. I still don't get this. And here we are. There's that one. Then I have open, 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 and I start closing. Start closing. Thought this would show up as a 4. I was expecting this to go to see the 4 change. See, I can't replicate this at all. And then, yuck. And then as we go through, else. So if it's the closed one, okay, so the else. Top, we pop. And then all right, let's go through this again. We start out with our base case, so with an extra 0. And I still all right. So first open parentheses, second open parentheses. And I close one. All right, so what do I do? I get rid of this one. And I print the stack. And I pop this out. And then I can't replicate this yet. I still don't know why that shows up. Because what happens then is I accidentally click it, and then I get another panel. Alright. Okay. And then we come through. So add a 0. If not, because what I'm struggling with is the going. When does it know to have a nested or not? Because I have this one right here, which is right that one. And why isn't that? Well, it is going, and it is going to multiply by. And then I'm going to have 10 because 5 times 2. Then I take my last value, val, and then we're going to have the 0, and then we're going to increment that by 10, right? But I was at least motivated last night by the solve of some pretty crazy queries that I ended up writing. I don't know if you were here to see them, Vicky, but oh, hang on a second. Oh, gee whiz. Came home. Was home till 1. Okay. Sorry, I just saw some kid stuff. I don't know if anybody's here was old enough to have kids, but you never stop worrying, even when they get to be older. Now it kind of explains why my parents still act the way they do. All right, because they're still your kids. All right. Okay. So as we go through, so I'm going to get rid of the top one. So they are describing this as top for do I need to draw this out? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know, Vinky. I don't know if you were still here yesterday when the stream was going. And the power flickered. All right, let's bring this down here a little bit. I can't remember who all was still here. I think you may have been. All right. Oh, here's this. Had to write 4 queries. And kind of getting caught up. Still have the last assignment. But yeah, this assignment is this coming up. Your base friend prepare group Discord. This is like a nightmare. Can't solve without using their instructions. Oh, well, I'm trying to T. I don't know if you're still here, but glad to have you here. Don't quite know what that means. Prepare group. Friend prepare group Discord you. I'll look over there. So did you join the Discord? Okay, but yeah, so I'm trying to replicate this and so it can sink in, because if I can't solve this medium one, I'm definitely not going to be able to solve the other one. Let's see. Do I even have it? Yeah, this thing, which I think is just a more, because we would just use pop along with it with some extra. I wonder if we should start this one and see what we come up with. Interesting. But I mean, how would we solve this one with a stack? Or is this a hash map? Problem. You doing all right? You heading out? Oh, okay. Oh, you got still sweatshirt on. What time are you leaving? Okay. You need any help with anything? No. All right. Let's see. Let me go back to chat and see if anybody has. So find the longest. Then we would, because I know I need to improve. I need to improve. I need to improve my hash map usage and my stack usage. You call me? Yeah, I think that'll be a good pan. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Oh, you're doing pink? Yeah, I almost didn't wash that pan this morning. Yeah, I thought you washed it last night. Yeah, no, I think I ran out of steam. Yeah, I should have watched it last night. All right. Oh, I know it's doable. I just don't know if I can do it. So, but I appreciate the support, Vinky. So, because I think everyone's kind of tired of seeing the same problem. Because I know I've gotten feedback from some viewers. It's like, we're still doing this. Well, they want it to be fun and exciting, but sometimes work isn't fun and exciting. You just got to sit down and do it. So how would we do this? So I'm trying to wrap my head around a hash map. Can't see that. So we would, but we know that if we do a nested loop. So if you don't know what a so if you're just joining and you're like, wait a minute, what's a nested loop? All right. So if you hear me say nested loop or the second loop, it's the same thing. For I in, let's say S, and then let's say S is, or I, you can unpack that too. So then for J and I, it'd be that. So what I'm expanding in my knowledge is, if for this second loop, which Venky's been doing some work on the side. Venky also solved one of our other problems that I just absolutely love. It's the chicken nugget problem. I need to go back and revisit that because I think I solved that with three for loops. So that would be so very interesting to see how to go about doing that. All right, so let's go here. So our brains look at this and go, all right, that's that. But if I were to do this, then we have, that's 4. So that's the longest. But I'm also looking at this and seeing it. I'm seeing this. So I'm looking, so it wouldn't kick it out. It's the longest. One, 2. So how would we do this as a hash map? Let's bring this over. Copy. Paste. Really? Explanation. I don't like that. That. There we go. Alright, let's block this out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And let me put this one in. Chat. If you're just joining, we're looking at this one now. And I'll put this in there we are. And I think I'm going to need to come up with something else to stream tomorrow because I don't think anybody's going to want to look at this for a 4th day. Even though probably everyone needs practice at stacks. I'll do that on my own. I thought I had a really good video idea. And then I got up this morning and I was like, can't remember what the really good video idea was. Okay. Because I got to start learning about DBT. I got a homework assignment that I need to do that on, and I haven't even watched the videos because I wanted to get caught. I didn't want to have another week go by and not do well. All right. So we're back here. Let's see. Let me see where I can see chat. Saying I've dropped. Oh, I just noticed the stream. I only have this set. Can I change this to 60 frames per second? Nope. So this is probably not that smooth. I realize that I don't have. Oh boy. All right. I got to try to remember that. How's the volume sound? Okay. I thought the volume was a little bit low. And I realized I also don't have from the computer in case I wanted to record a call. Well, that's not good. All right. Sorry. Still trying to get all the bugs out of everything that I have missing on this hard drive. All right. So let's see. So we know best practice is a hash map to replace a second loop. So would we use a key and an index? Don't know. This is me just throwing stuff against the wall. So would I index? How would that look? So let's come here. Oops, what? Oh. Is this beneficial? 0, 1. 1, does that even fit under there? Kind of. So how how is that useful? How could that be useful? Index. Because then also we could do nested, and then this would be legal. That's completely legal. See, because did you see how Spider kept up with that? Which is so cool. Now that I think about that, that algorithm right there has to be a pain to write. And watch that. And it goes both ways. Okay. So that would be 3, because that's three nested parentheses. So the longest valid parentheses substring. And that would be completely legal. And then that would and then this one we're counting each one, so that would be 8. So not only would that be legal, that would have a count of 8. So if we it's 8:15. Hang on a second. Okay, hang on. Let me check and make sure. All right. So if I were to iterate through this and I were to hash map everything, what benefit would that have? I would have an open and a closed, and I'd have them at a certain. What is a scenario where this would benefit us? Because right now, so I guess my brain is also going, so longest substring, where I'm iterating through that a second time, that is a hash map solve, I think. I wonder if we need to go back and start those and get that practice in first to really reprogram ourselves, because that's the trick, is you reprogram the way in which you see things. So if we go back, because this one I at least kind of got, and I'm shocked. I'm pleased, but I'm shocked. Let's go back here. Let's uncomment this out. Let's revisit this and see if we can get some inspiration. So if we remember, that actually is that seems like a video right there in and of itself, because I think I have a video to edit, because I just realized that I didn't publish any videos last week because of everything I recorded or I streamed. Excuse me. But I did not publish. And I was actually researching and studying on stacks. And there were this problem, that this 20 right here was used a lot. And this technique was pretty much used consistently. But this changed drastically. And Vinky, I think if you're still here, one of your solutions with the not equal did something, and then we didn't need to check the length of the stack. And they did it, I think, in just 2. It was an interesting technique. But let's kind of look at this right here. So we were going to need to do this. So checking and using a key. Excuse me, everybody. Using a key value pair got rid of all this. So just let that percolate for a minute, because, and also, I don't know if you saw it, but I flipped the values in the keys around. Oh, and also, let's talk about this for a second. This doesn't need to be keys, because keys is automatically checked. So check this out. So we run this. Let's do this. Let's do that, and that. Okay. Let's run this, and I'll show you. Is it that one? Yeah. True. And then we're going to do that one out. This one will be false. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, but check this out. So brackets. I don't need to do keys. I just need brackets, and I completely forgot this. And this is an important concept of understanding the anatomy of your objects. So this is actually redundant. We can get away with this just being brackets. So watch. In brackets. And it helps if you spell brackets right, because it's just bracket. So I did this, and I did overkill with keys. You don't need to actually have keys here. So this works. Because I forgot that. Because what it's looking at is it's just looking in to see if... Because it's basically like pulling open a drawer of all the rooms that are available, but I guess the reverse of it. You open up a door and you have all the keys, and you're like, oh, here's here are all the keys that were being used today. And if like at a hotel room, and you're able to just see, all right, somebody's in room 1, somebody's in room 13, and somebody's in room 5. Well, you don't know the contents of that room, but in that drawer you would know what rooms to go to find the contents, if that makes sense. All right, so let's see. And we stack that. All right. Like I said, stacks right now are very challenging to me, because I'm just having to, even though I've worked with lists for, 11 years, but these stacks are giving me some sort of headache. All right. Let's see. Let's get going. And then we got that. Oh, this is the other. This is the solve. That's not the solve, is it? Let's copy this and bring it down here so we can just have it all together. Okay, sorry about that. Because this technique is so throwing me off. I don't know how much more we're going to do today, because I need to really work on this puzzle, because this is so very challenging to me to reprogram. because they pop it out. So if it's not the letter we append, or if it is an open one, we append to a 0. All right. We append to a 0. Run this again. We append the 0. I get that. So if it closes, so this closing and because I still want to count and I want to track this. And okay, so this is, but it's not gone. Yeah, it is gone. And then I change it to a 1. So let's go. Yeah. So S. All right, we may be making some sort of progress here. That's our placeholder. So I input that. Oh yeah, that's our placeholder. So I have 2. 1, 2. And then I'll pop this. And now this is gone. And then now I'm taking that value because top was a 1. So this makes no sense right now. I'm going to print and I should have been printing val here. Let's do this. F string. What don't you like about this? F string is missing placeholders. Yeah. All right, top. And let's do this. And then val. Maybe this will help me clarify this, because this is messing me up. All right. Top was 2, val is 4. Top is 5, val is 10. So everyone through so top is 0, val is 1. All right. Then I'm adding open, 3 opens, 1, 2, 3. And I hit my first close. And there goes my val where I'm going 1, 2, 4, 5, 10. Wow. I've got to learn this if I want to pass a interview like this, because if I were to get either of these two questions, I would not be moving on, because the boot camp that I'm in, hang on a second, working through some very, very, very uncomfortable frustration right now. Whew. So y'all are getting to watch this completely live. Not a meltdown, just a very, very uncomfortable. So you're getting to see this process, and this is exactly why I'm doing this, because I'm not naive to think that I'm the best problem solver there is, but I know some people come and watch and they're mystified. I'm just further down the road than they are, so I'm giving perspective and trying to share that this is not easy for everyone, and especially new concepts, and especially for me, new concepts. So I'm doing this so everyone can have perspective and reality, realistic expectations. That so if you have much less experience than I, this won't, excuse me, oh my goodness, this won't be so foreign to you, because typically what happens is when somebody hits something that is challenging, it's very hard to push through, and you're watching me do this. So probably what I'm going to do later today is I'm probably going to find something that I'll be able to solve to kind of build myself back up, because that's vital. If you're going to walk around and not have, my goodness, and not have the confidence that you can solve something, guess what? You're not going to be able to solve something. I go back to my old boss and my second project manager. They made mistakes all the time. It was crazy, but they didn't let it slow them down. All right, so let's go back to this. I have delayed long enough. So let's figure this technique out. So when we pop out the last one, so what is this technique doing with popping out the last one? All right. Let's see. I add a 0. I add another 0. Is there another way to do this? Because I'm counting them as ones. So there's going to be times, but if I have let's see if we can do this a different way for ourselves and design this algorithm. All right. Since I can't, I don't have, that's the beginning of I don't know what's in my finger. So right now, I'm at a multiplier of times 2. And then I have 1. But then I need to Oh, I thought I was going to get rid of that. But that's maybe why they're using this list. So then I... One. Then my multiplier goes back down to 1. Down to 1. Then I have this. I have a count of 1 and a multiplier of 1. But I'm not going to go up. So I was trying to make this, do this a different way. Well, I think I've run off pretty much everyone for today. Sorry, everyone. I guess we can do something maybe different tomorrow. So let's see. So then... Because that's 2, but that's not 2 because the count is 2. That's 2 because that's 1 multiplied by 2 because it's nested. Oh my goodness. Well, okay. Everyone seems to be annoyed with this and very bored with this. So I don't know what else to do, and apparently I'm very, very distracted, and it's gloomy weather here today, and I have other homework to do, so I'm very sorry that this was not that of an exciting stream. Let's see, was this? Yeah, this is that one, and here we are with this. See, I instinctively go back to wanting to count things, and that's nowhere near the that's linear. That's not a stack solve, and I've got to abandon that. I just absolutely have to abandon that. So this may be a bigger reprogram problem than I had originally thought. This is going to be very challenging. So all right, I think everyone is gone for today. We will do something more exciting tomorrow. I will thank you everyone for being very patient with me on this journey of stacks. I will make sure that we space this out quite a bit before we revisit stacks. So I'll let everyone go today, but thank you very much, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. All right, bye.